I finished almost an entire kilo of Del Cebador, and here's my review. If you've been wanting to try it or just want to compare your experience with mine, then you're in the right place. As with most Uruguayan yerbas, I expected this one to carry some of the same characteristics as your typical ones, like Canarias, Serra, or Baldo. Although Del Cebador isn't as well known, I've only ever heard great things about this brand. But quickly, before we dive in, please do me a favor and give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy these types of yerba mate reviews. Now let's cut to the chase and get this bag open. Starting with the cut, this yerba is like every other popular yerba from Uruguay. Little to no stems, lots of fine cut leaves, and a whole lot of dust. The leaves here aren't cut as fine as others I've seen like Canarias, but the dust in this bag is a lot more than usual. Every time I pour it into my gourd, a big cloud of dust comes out with it. But as a whole, not much different here. It looks like every other Uruguayan brand. Now let's see how it smells. To the nose, this yerba has a strong, pungent smell to it, which is probably because of all the dust in there. Just shaking the bag to get a small whiff tickles the back of my nose. This yerba gives off a strong barnyard smell, bit of grass and hay, with a hint of baked bread in the background. Can't find whether this yerba is smoked, but based off the way it smells, I assume it is, as it has a bit of a firewood aroma to it. Overall, nothing really too unique here. It smells like most yerbas, just a lot stronger. Now, on to the taste. This time, in true Uruguayan fashion, I'll be using a black torpedo gourd, which you can get on our website. Torpedo gourds are one of my favorites, and to me has the best shape to drink Uruguayan yerba from. The calabash itself is almost cone shaped with a wide mouth opening, making it perfect for building a nice looking mountain. When I first tried this, Del Cebador was nothing surprising to me, at least in the beginning. The first pours right off the bat gives a dominant earthy flavor. The classic Uruguayan earthy and soily taste you find in other brands is mixed with cedar wood and hay here. It's very barnyardy, just like its smell, but in a good way. It's rich and gives off a creamy texture. Another few pours in, and soon enough a vegetal floral taste appears that reminds me very much of green tea. But as we get around the halfway point, that's when the flavor gets a little more interesting. Similar to Canarias, notes of milk chocolate and malt come to the scene, as everything else seems to sort of fade away. What's interesting though is it also has this sweet corn umami taste that I can't ignore. And as strange as it sounds, it just works here and perfectly blends in with everything else. As far as water temperature goes, Del Cebador does great in almost any temperature. I tried it from as low as 140 degrees Fahrenheit to as high as 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Throughout that range, there's no specific temperature that really stood out to me. It all tasted great with just small slight changes in flavor. So I say play around with it and see which one you like the most. Like most Uruguayan brands, Del Cebador is a full-bodied mate. The powder content gives these yerbas a strong creamy texture. From the first pour well into about 7 or 8 refills, this mate does not weaken at all. The beginning pours can be a bit gritty and chalky in texture, but it mellows out as you keep drinking it. Stringency is pretty mild, which I like. It doesn't make the inside of my mouth super dry, but it can have a slight sticky feeling to it. When it comes to cycle or duration, again, as with most Uruguayan brands, Del Cebador lasts an extremely long time with a well-sustained strength and flavor. In a gourd like this, you can use up to anywhere from 1 liter to 1.5 liters of water. So if you plan on drinking this, keep this in mind so you don't end up using too much and having some left over. As for the effect and stimulation of this brand, I personally don't get too amped up on it. But as always, your mileage may vary. No one knows how much caffeine is in this yerba, but I can tell you how it makes me feel. When I drink this, I don't get a burst of physical energy as much as I do get a strong increase in mental focus. This is one of those yerbas where I sit back and enjoy while reading, writing, or studying. Overall, this is not one of my favorite yerbas of all time, but I would say it's a must-try for anyone getting into Uruguayan mate. I don't find Del Cebador to be that unique in taste, but it does provide that comforting and rich flavor that you can rely on a daily basis. So from a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a solid 7. Let me know what you guys think of this brand in the comments, and don't forget to go to our website to shop for gourds, bombillas, yerba mate, and more.